Stay focused, man.
I'm just saying.
Focus, man.
We good.
I want us to do the right thing for this client.
Good morning, family. Oh my gosh, it is another episode of the RealT Podcast. I am here with my beautiful wife, Tanika Donnell.
Hey, y'all.
I am Kenny Donnell. We are your hosts of the RealT, and we want to thank you in advance for liking and subscribing to this channel, whether you are watching it on YouTube or just listening at your with your local app, whatever works for you. But thank you. We appreciate you so much. But today it's gonna be some mess today.
In a good way.
In a good. I don't know if it's gonna be a good way. I don't know that. I don't know that. It's yet to be determined. It's yet to be determined. But we have the owner of Jyles Luxury Car Service.
That's correct.
Mr. Reginald Jyles is with us today. How are you, sir?
I'm doing just fine there.
All right. Well, you're looking dapper. You're looking quite clean today.
You can thank my wife for that one.
Now she's running the business, so she ain't here right now.
No, it's just me today, just representing him. So I guess I should be fine.
I don't know about all that, but we'll see what she says in the comments after this airs.
I agree.
Well, before we even get started hitting you with any questions, why don't you just give us a little background of the company? Where can people find you? Different stuff like that.
You can find us at www.jyleslcarservice.com. You also can find us on Facebook as well as Instagram as well, and LinkedIn.
Okay. All right. Now, how long have y'all been in business? I said y'all because you and the wife are in business together now.
Correct. Yeah. I want to say that she worked behind the scenes, but we've been in business now for 8 years. Mm-hmm. Also, too, she just came on with the business a year ago. Mm-hmm. So, any questions, y'all may ask, I can explain more in detail about that. But at least 8 years now.
Why a luxury car service?
Truth be told, it wasn't me who just came up with the name itself, of course, the luxury car service. It really was just God's given. Okay. In fact, I can just share a little bit of how it came to be.
Yeah.
Well, at first I was working at TSA at the airport at DFW, which brought us from Louisiana to Texas when I first got married. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I worked there for 11 years. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I always wanted to work for myself. So I decided that I would take my retirement money and, of course, go start a business here, to which I did start a business. It wasn't Jyles Luxury. It was a consulting company. And, of course, it crashed and burned. So after it crashed, that's just me being real. Yeah, tell the truth, shame it up. So after it crashed and burned here, I went to go work for I think I put my resumes out, couldn't get hired anywhere. And then, of course, I said, you know what, my wife is supporting us here. I have to go do something. So I decided to get a part-time job at Walmart as well as delivering pizza in our neighborhood. After that, I want to say it was a friend of mine who actually said, hey, there's a company that just came out, I think you'd be very good in doing it, called Uber. And I said, okay, well, I'm doing a part-time job at Walmart and, of course, at Pizza Hut. Surely, I can actually give that a try. Well, I'm looking for, a job that really pays money. So I did, Uber, for like a good year. Okay. But in that year, God really opened a door where really I met a guy who was a businessman who traveled every single week here from downtown Dallas. And so he said, you know what, I don't want to do business with Uber, I'd rather do business with you. Okay. And then that's really how Jyles got birthed. But what really put Jyles on the map here was the fact that it was our neighborhood. We have a Nextdoor app here, and I think Nextdoor has at the time was 7,000 people that was on the Nextdoor. Well, one of our Christian brothers and sisters here, named Jimmy and Felicia, that y'all pretty much aware of them. Yeah. They actually used the service, and when they used the service, they referred us on Nextdoor, and then one log caught fire to another log catching fire, and of course, 8 years later, we have at least 1,400 clients now, and I think 3 major corporations there, and 1 major contract, and all that. How Jive was birthed in the sense of, is a luxury car service. So when you ask me, how did you come up with Jive Luxury Car Service? In my mind, I'm thinking it really wasn't me. It looked like, God just said, we're going to put this in a Reginald lap here to actually to run for.
That's an amazing thing because most entrepreneurs do not understand the power of those reviews.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
a
yes.
simple review and referral can just continue to snowball like
It can.
That is an amazing example of that.
It is, sir. And I appreciate that, really, because in fact, I didn't realize how much the power of the reviews was as well until a lot of times we get calls from the office that would say, and I would always ask them, someone would ask them, where did you find us? And they would tell us, the referrals on next door, on next door. I told them, like, in the football field, they have the big old flag of any college team. They run around, big old flag with their name. I said, if I can run around our neighborhood here, with my shirt off here, well, I ain't on the Schwarzenegger, but I can run my shirt off just, saying, thank you guys, with a big old thank you, I will, because honestly, it really have been those reviews of next door that really have put our company on the map. Yeah. Just local neighbors supporting small business.
I love that.
Well, hold on, let's not forget, you guys are client of ours as well. Look, thank you. Thank you. At the end of the day here,
We love your service.
Yeah,
actually.
we do.
You bring
Thank
such joy and pleasure to the experience of riding. You and Toya, actually, riding in a car. It's not such an experience of, I want to talk to the driver. I want to talk to him. We always want to talk to you, Reginald.
I appreciate that. I do,
He going to talk to us if we don't want to talk. Yeah, it don't matter. What we want to do, it don't even matter. Reginald.
Yeah. Well, I told my wife that, when we started the company from the beginning, I really told her that I really believe in just relationship. And also, one of the things that I really pride myself on is building those relationships. And of course, my wife is more of a black and white type of person. So her attitude is that, why you build a relationship? Just get in the car, drive here, and call it a day. In fact, she wanted to go so old school to put a black hat on me like I would drive Miss Daisy. I just told, first of all, I ain't Morgan Freeman here. There is no white person. Well, we do have white clients here. But the point being is that I'm not Morgan Freeman. I'm not putting no hat on. So of course, with that, I told her, I said, well, let me sit down and just explain to you why that's important. And so I gave her this example, and I think I shared the same thing with you guys as well. If I'm riding in a car and they have a company, which is Jive Luxury Car Service, they have another company that's a limousine company as well. They both have the same quality of service. Nice cars here. It's clean on the inside, minced water. The chauffeur drives to know you from point A to point B, and they both offer you the same price. I asked Toya, well, which one would you actually pick? I mean, if you had to decide, you have used both of them before, which one would you actually pick? And I told her that who you would pick is the one with relationship.
Absolutely.
So if I can build that relationship, it distinguishes us from anyone else, because the attitude is that we know Reginald, we know Toya, we know Nia and Layla, we know them as a family. And because of that, we care enough that we want to invest in them instead of somebody that, they do good work, but it's not that relationship part here, Yeah.
You had an interesting journey to getting to Jive like you just laid out, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting, but it's normal in this regard, where a lot of entrepreneurs don't have success their first run at it, right? Mm-hmm. I can remember my first run was trying to do a limo company.
Didn't know that.
I know you didn't know that, because that was a long time ago, and it lasted like one job, and we didn't know what we was doing. Right, we had no clue.
Crash and burn.
Yeah, for real. And that's not for me. Right. Where do you find the courage to, after you ventured out, and then it didn't work, and so you did the things you needed to do to put food on the table, to help support to put food on the table, and now this other opportunity comes around. Mm-hmm. Where, all right, I'm gonna try this entrepreneur thing again.
Right.
Where do you find the courage, or did you even need to find courage to be like, first one didn't work, is this one gonna go the same way?
Right. Well, again, look, I'm gonna try to explain this without shedding a tear. This will have to be totally on my wife's side here. I know you do business with your wife, who's a helpmate. Mine is too as well. And I tell you, Toya really have helped. And I'm trying very hard not to, but it really
it's okay. Story. We got tissue.
It's okay. It's okay. But Toya, when I first crashed and burned, and honestly, I really thought that, it would do extremely well. But when I decided to actually work at Pizza Hut, Walmart here, I mean, for a man, I felt very low because I was an educated person, got a degree. I put resumes out there, wasn't getting any bites at all. And then, of course, my wife, of course, could have easily have made the statement of, I didn't sign up for this here. You're supposed to be the man and blah, 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 blah. I mean, she really was holding it down while I really was trying to find my foot on what I really needed to do. So when Jive came along and I was actually coming up with a second business, to answer your question, I never had fear in the sense of trying again because I always wanted to work for myself. And I know that sometimes you can actually try, but you can try again. And so my wife, of course, I appreciate her for not saying no because she had every reason to say, you know what, you did the first business here, you quit a government job here to start a business, crash and burn. Reginald, I don't want to take that chance again here. But because of that, she allowed me to actually do was something I had in my heart since we first met. And I always wanted to work for myself. Because of that is why, I was able to do what I do and she was able to hold us down while I actually started Jive. And Jive was able to build to what I think once we got to the 5th year, I think, and we started making 6 figures. I think her attitude was like, oh, yeah. I think we got something here, But of course, I owe a lot of that, of course, to God Himself and His favor, and also, people who just love us enough to just give us a try. I think what I love about our clients is the fact that you guys love us enough when we didn't have what normal limousine company would have. I mean, when we first started, we had a white Infinity. Who starts a limousine company with a white Infinity?
Right.
Truth be told, we didn't have a limousine, so we call ourselves a Giant Luxury Company. But at the very beginning, we didn't have that at first here. But you guys still took a chance on us, and because they allowed us to grow, to buy what we need here, to have what we have. Oh, but now we have a fleet now. You on our website, we have all this stuff that we have now. But I remember of humble beginnings of really where it comes from. So again, to answer your question, no, I never had a fear about it. I always knew that I didn't mind trying and failing until, I can actually get it right. But it was my wife, like your wife too, and so many others who may be watching that has her wives, her husbands rather, who just care enough to just support their spouse or their loved ones until they can actually get up and going.
Ken and I can definitely relate to that because we're a couple working together, just like the two of you are a couple working together. I want to know, how do you all decide who does what, who does this responsibility, who's over this, and what made you decide now, Toya, it's time to come on full time?
Okay, I'm laughing again because so I would say that because of the fact that Toya is very organized, which I appreciate that. It's not like if you go into the office that it's just paper everywhere. But honestly, she's a very organized person. So because she was once an assistant principal, she's just very organized. So she works behind the scenes in administrative capacity. So she works behind the scenes as far as the reservations here, the invoices here, calling the clients back here, discussing, package and kits and stuff. So she works behind the scenes. Anything dealing with us, applying for contracts here, writing grants or something. That's something that's Toy department. You cannot ask me to do that here. It won't get done. I have the vision for it. I will pay somebody to do it here, but I'm not going to do it by myself. But with Toya, of course, because that's her skill set, really, we let her flow in that capacity. Now, she'll let me know that, okay, when it comes down to customer service, that's you, Reginald. Because I'm going to lose business and run us out of business here because of the fact that I'm just so cut and dry. You, of course, going to try to work with folks and try to understand and, have that, that compatibility, that relationship part. So that's pretty much how we divide the two. How she came on with Jive, that was just total disobedience on her part. And I say that because
go deeper with that.
Yeah, exactly. And what I mean by that is that my wife have felt like God have always called her to be able to come and work with us, but never moved. And I think I won't say last year when some events happened here, I guess it allowed her to say to herself that, Lord, I hear you. And because of that, she decided to actually to come on. But I always told her that, you're more than welcome to come on. It's almost like caveman, trying to drag a woman by the hair, come, but she just wouldn't come. But of course, through the event, she allowed God to speak to her heart, and she actually said yes, and then she actually put in, and people may have thought for a second that, it was a reason why something bad happened at the job or something, but it wasn't that. It's just really God spoke to her heart, and she literally left a good job here. Now, she left the job, and I'm telling her to come on. A part of me, I was happy, but a part of me, I'm thinking too, like, well, I don't know if this don't work. I
mean, we out here now.
Yeah. It's just me and you here. I feel like the story of the man that says that, that you must burn your boats here. I don't know if you heard that story before. That, you can't go back here. Yep. So when she came on, although she can go back to being assistant principal, but I never had the mindset. I just told her, okay, well, come on, let's join hands together. I think I told Toya, I am not the enemy. I don't know how many times we had that discussion. When she want to do this, want to do that, I am not the enemy here. But we can't have two heads running the company here. It got to be just one here. So since God has called me to lead here, that's when I put my man thing out there. Since God called me to lead here.
He gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Really gonna get in trouble.
Since God called me to lead, I'm going to need you to follow as I lead here. Oh Lord, please tell me where to go. Yeah, I'm going to need you to follow me, But yeah, that's pretty much just answering your question.
Mm-hmm. So in that, as you guys decided strengths and weaknesses, right? Who is strong in what area, and divided those things out.
Right.
And now you all are working together. How are you finding time to separate work spouse from house?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Look, and I'm glad that you asked that. At the beginning, when she first came on, because she came on with all these ideas and things she wanted to do, and nothing wrong with it. I don't have no problem at all, because I'm one of them, one of those men that I'm like a sponge. If you share some things with me, I'll soak it up and let's try it here. I don't mind. But if I got something in place that already worked, and you want to come and, top of the apple cart here, now we got to have a come to Jesus moment. So in talking to Toya, we'll kind of bump heads. I mean, just constant bump heads. And it kind of dawned on me, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're talking to me like you're my wife here. This is business. So how about moving forward here? When we're working here from 6 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon here, I need you to give me a title, a name that I can call you. So at work, she is, Miss Jyles here. At 5 o'clock, 5:01. It's Toya. So that's how we separate, work from, wife here. Because honestly, it wasn't me. She was mixing the two together. And I'm looking like, I can compartmentalize things extremely well here. But she was mixing it all together. And honestly, I was looking like, I don't know, you keep this up. We may not make it.
I can see now this is going to be a part 2. Yeah, because we're going to have to get her in here. Yeah, we're going to have to get
Well, hopefully her side will match with my side. It really does. But yeah, but that is a good question. Yeah. And I'm almost sure, I think I told Toya that I believe that most couples that work together may find themselves answering that same question. How do you divide the two? I mean, I wouldn't dare put y'all on the spot and ask the same question because y'all interviewing us about the company. Right. But I'm almost sure y'all probably may have had that conversation. How do you divide the two? So, with us, we really had to have a conversation. And if we didn't, you bringing it up just now would have been a godsend, because I would have took that back to the office going, well, hold on now. We got to have an office wife and a housewife at home here. At the end of the day. So thank you for asking that question. That's a good question.
I remember when you all were contemplating this, you came to us and asked, how do you all do it? Do you suggest it? And we said yes. It's really a faith walk that you are operating in.
It is.
And respecting one another's giftings and talents. And
Yes.
God will use both of those to help accelerate the business, which it sounds like God is doing in you all's situation.
He is.
I want to know, what kind of challenges as entrepreneurs and business owners have you all had, and what kind of things did you put in place to overcome them?
Okay. I would like to say the challenge that we have had is, I would call it marketing. It's and I say that to say that for us, of course, we have I'm smiling to myself because you guys market just like we market in our neighborhood in the magazine. So sometimes I see your face, on nice and pretty, and I look at Toya going, because of you, we can't advertise that much of budget here, So we gotta get a little small. We gotta get a little small here. But my wife, of course, what she'll try to do is actually advertise different places to see what may just stick, which is new for her, which I told her, I don't mind that, let's just try it. So we have found that, a lot of places that we have tried to market that we don't necessarily get our return on investment. And I don't mean that, we're going to do it for a month or two. I'm saying months and months can pass on by, but it's not a return on investment. So we have to go back to the table, sit down, and then ask the question, okay, this not working, what is working? And then, of course, we'll take that revenue marketing dollars and put it over there to this avenue and make it, kind of grow more. Sure. So the challenge that we have found really have been just the marketing part here. Sure. Now, what we're doing to overcome it, of course, is just finding out ways that, we can talk to other business folks, find out what works for you guys and other folks as well, and then actually trying those avenues. But marketing, I say, will be the number one. It's not the employees here. It's not the wife wife at home. It's not the repairs and it's not. It's the marketing. The marketing is the biggest part of ours.
Mm-hmm. So in that marketing thing, our industry comes under a lot of pressure, a lot of outside pressure too, when it comes to different things. One of the things that we have to stay in front of is technology advancements. Mm-hmm. All right. I don't know if that's the same for your industry. We have a lot of conversations about AI and different stuff that's happening and how agents can use it or not use it. Mm-hmm. Are there any technology things? When I think about your industry, I think about the autonomous vehicles, right? I know Arlington is testing some stuff, driverless vehicles and things like that. What do you see on the horizon for your industry as far as technology is concerned? And is it a positive, a negative, or?
Yeah, well, your wife mentioned it. You mentioned it before. I think it may be a negative if we ever get to a point where it's AI driving everything. There's no relationship. So unless you get a TV camera and put my face on it, I can talk to you while it's driving. But other than that, it's a good thing though. But I guess it can be a bad thing as far as the relationship part. It's new to me as far as the AI and as far as the autonomous driving. So that's something that we haven't really touched on. I know one of the things that we have touched on that y'all may not be aware of in our industry is the body camera. Because of the fact that, we actually do patients here, and we actually have to take them to their home. A lot of times, because they're coming from an infusion, they not really kind of lucid or aware. So a lot of times we have to help them to their door. Well, if I'm helping someone to their door, for example, I use me, and I don't have a body camera on. Well, it's really my word against theirs. So if somebody was to report back to, the office, not our office, but to the medical office, that, hey, Reginald did this, touched me, said something there. Well, really, they don't have anything to really go with as far as as far as evidence. The body camera help us to protect ourselves in our industry.
Wow! So you started wearing that all the time now?
Yeah, that's something that we wear, but also too something that my wife have. When she came on, that's one of her skill sets. Are actually just saying one thing to protect ourselves. Another thing too is also the camera in the vehicle, of course, like if we have an accident or something, because it's a camera pointed outward, it actually gives us, kind of like that protection. And also the camera on the inside too, in case, again, when we just chit-chat and talk, I can chit-chat with you guys, I feel like you guys family, but somebody could be sitting in the back and recording, me, and I'm saying something, they could edit and say something out of context, and then it makes me look up here, though, that, I'm saying the wrong thing, when really I have the earthly idea. So that's kind of like a protection that in our industry that we use. And also too, not only that, but even on the telephone now, I used to think that, when somebody called and said, this telephone call had been recorded, I'm thinking, okay, that's just their company, they're just recording it. I have found that is also useful in our business as well here, because again, the majority of clients that we talk to, business executive assistants here, we do business with Parkland Hospital, UT Southwest, Western, Mary Kay. Most people do is women. So when I'm on the phone, most of the time talking to our clients here, again, I can get to laughing and playing, cutting up. If I catch somebody on a bad day, it can have to be, again, misconstrued here, So, I mean, I don't go around saying baby or honey, but if I was answering the phone, and I know so 5 years ago, hey, honey, how you doing? Nice to hear from you. Next thing I know, I got a lawsuit possibly because of the fact that I said something inappropriately. So that's something that for technology that, we very much aware of is that very thing I'm looking at now, the camera,
Right.
Yeah, it just helps to protect us. Yeah.
Well, I know you have some kids.
Yes, we
talk
do.
a little bit about the dynamics of being an entrepreneur, having a business, and then maybe how you're cultivating the next legacy to maybe take over or join the ranks.
Yeah. I wish Nia later was actually here. I feel like there'll be two girls on the side with pom-poms going, yeah, daddy. Because one of the things that, when I started the company, I really asked the good Lord that I wanted to do. And I'm glad that I was intentional about it at the very beginning because I can't get that time back. My mom told me that one of the things that she regret working 2 jobs, but I understand she was a single parent and she had to, but that she just didn't have that time. She said, son, I wish I can go back and get back that time. I don't have that time. I provided for you guys here, but at the end of the day, I didn't have that time that I wish I had when y'all was growing up. I missed that. So I remember her sharing that with me. And because of that, when I started Jive, I knew how demanding it would be, of course. I hit my knees and I asked the good Lord, help me to make enough money in such a way that I'm stable, but I can also be able to go to choir performance. And of course, we too have kids that's in the same realm. So again, I was able to have time for that, have time for, spending time with them. Anything that Nia's on the swim team when she was in high school, I was able to go there and do things with her. I just had the time. So God allowed us to be able to grow the business, allow the business to continue to expand, but not expand so much where it pulls me away from family. He was able to give me the best of both worlds, only because of the fact that, I wasn't trying to add more clients here. The clients that I had, and it's kind of like an oxymoron, because most small businesses want the clients.
Right.
They want the business. They want the revenue here. But I just didn't want to be greedy because I knew that I wanted to spend time and I didn't want to be a father that was just at home. I wanted to be a father that was present. So I would tease my wife all the time and tell her that, if you ever felt the need that you want to leave me, that we'll be fighting on the kids, because the fact that, most men go, take the kids, and, I just send child support. No, you can give me the kids and you can pay child support. Look, I love Nia Layla here, so, but I'm glad that, he allowed me that time. And when they got up age and Toya came on, then, of course, I told my wife here, now we're in a position now where we can expand. And now I don't mind expanding as much as we possibly can now, which is something I want to mention as well. Because of my wife, of course, she's not here to defend herself like y'all say here. I thought I was speaking good over here. But,
and you are.
Yeah.
But we do on her side.
You see what I'm saying? Because of Toya, I told Toya what she was able to do in 1 year, what we could not do in 7 years, because it's hard for me to build a business and do that at the same time. It was a vision of mine here, but I just couldn't implement it on my own. And that is that Toya was able to get us 3 certifications here that deal with small businesses that allows us to apply for, small government contracts here. Me on my own, 7 years, I'm doing this here. Doing contracts and stuff. But for her, she really did allow us to have those contracts. I think this year we just got approved for another certification that allows us now to become a vendor with companies now, hospitals that may do Medicaid. So people who have Medicaid, they actually do Medicaid that allows the rises. So now we can branch out as in another branch that we can bring in more money. So now we're trying to make a decision on, do we invest in another a sedan, which we're going to do one anyway, or do we actually get the van with the wheelchair, assess it, because we're at that part now. So before we make that decision, of course, like you guys, we're going to go in, I should say for you're going to go in prayer.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think
already
your
know
husband
that.
trying to do
You already know.
that. It is TDR, Matthew 9:26. Yeah. So yeah, that's something that, because of Toya, that we're able to branch out. So a lot of times I would look at Toya and just tell her, I appreciate you because, God have made you a helpmate. And I really do appreciate my helpmate. She truly is, not only she a partner, but she's also a friend. And she's just someone who I just appreciate and love. I really do.
And now your daughter, one of your daughters is driving.
That's right. Nia, of course, is driving now. At first, I think she was taken out to her mama, and we have to, come drag her, like the caveman days here. But I think she got to a point now where she see the bigger picture of us just trying to leave a legacy here. And since she's going to school to become a dentist here, that's one of the things that in the meantime, she said before, while she's become a dentist, that, she will help us, grow the business in the meantime. But my attitude, guys, I'm looking like, well, it helps you anyway.
Right.
I mean, you benefit from it anyway. I don't know why you say you helping me. You really helping you. If I ain't know no better, I think you're being selfish. You probably got into your bedroom going, I think, this may benefit me. So, yes. So, Neil, of course, is going to school at UTA, of course, local here now. And, of course, we have our youngest daughter, Layla, who y'all know because your daughter going to the same school at Lake Ridge High School, but she's in the marching band.
How has it been? So having your child work with you now, talking about the separation of things. Okay, so how do you manage that? Because there's a lot of entrepreneurs that think about, well, I want my kids to be in business with me. Okay, that's great in theory, right? So now how do you manage that father relationship and boss relationship?
Yeah, I would say for me, and I think for a lot of our parents as well, it will help to know the personality of your child. And I'm saying that to say that if you have a child that's just not built for entrepreneurship or want to, build a business, or they cannot really see the bigger picture, either one, you have to sit them down and kind of explain to them that, kind of like I think it's a book called Why. I think that helps a lot. When you can sit down and really explain to your kids the why. I think when I sat down and explained to Nia the why we need you and, and why this is important here, it helped her to understand, where we was going and why she plays such a vital role here. Because other people have been doing it for generations to come here. So it's something new to us, but it's not something that we cannot also do as well. And that is leave a generation where the business just continues to just, flow. I told them that, God forbid, but if I die today or tomorrow, your mom, pass here. I mean, this business, flows to you guys here. I mean, since you know the ins and outs, what Nia actually drives here. But Layla, I must admit, she takes after her mom. She's in the administrative role, so she do all our invoices now. Now she always got her hand, I want to get paid here. Before she put water and mist in a car in the SUV.
She sounds like an entrepreneur.
This
is not volunteer work.
But both of them is good to integrate them both into it. But so Layla is more of on, I can't wait to drive. Nia was more of sitting down and explaining to, the reason why it's important to drive and to help your mom and dad to build a business from the ground up here. So again, I would say it just depends upon your daughter, son, their personality, just so what they willing to do, what not to do, and to just see if they're willing to just, to join in. Because I know a lot of people have multi-million-dollar businesses, but the kids I just don't want to do that here. Don't mean they can't help in the meantime, but it's just not their thing.
It's true.
That is a fact. So I know you touched on expansion.
Yes.
What does the next 5-10 years look like for Jyles?
Yeah, I would say that I know every year we sit down and we go over our goals, as in what we're looking for the company to do revenue-wise here. What's some things that we can cut back on?
Sure.
And then, of course, every month in January, like now, we'll sit down again, and we all have that come to Jesus moment where we sit down and ask, okay, what did we accomplish? What we did not accomplish? What we can work on here? What can we improve on? But to answer your question with the long-term goals, and that is also too, what are steps we doing now to reach that long-term goal? Because the long-term goal for me is really to sit back and to collect a check here, while, the company is able to work for itself here. It's my dream to get up. Y'all ever drive in the neighborhood and pass down my street and you see me outside with my robe on with a cup of coffee here? You can say, thank you, Jesus. He have arrived here. Because that's my ultimate goal, is to really be able to sit back and let the company run itself. But how do we get there? Mm-hmm. So getting there, of course, have the vision that God have given me would be more of the government contracts here. Sure. We can get our first government contract here. It will allow us to be able to hire more people. Absolutely. That allows us to expand here. And also to maintain that government contract too as well, which in turn will allow for that longevity of the company just, growing. I really don't have, for me, and maybe I'm just an odd bird or odd entrepreneur, I really don't have it for me that the company expands to a point where we have like 40, 80, cars in our fleet. I really don't want to lose that quality of the relationship. So because of that here, I have a certain number in my head, but it's not so huge where we lose contact of who you guys are. I don't want to ever have it where you guys call or send a text or something. I no longer look at text. Who is Tanika? What you mean you don't know who I was? I remember you had on our YouTube channel here. I don't want to lose it. I don't want us as a company to lose it. I want us to always be known for that relationship part here. So the longevity, of course, would be more so just maintaining good customer service to our clients, our patients here. And then, of course, in doing so, hopefully they'll continue to refer us over and over again. And that's one thing y'all may mention when I watch our Monday morning quarterback, I call that. I know y'all call it Monday morning is the mindset.
Yeah.
One of the things y'all mentioned a lot that honestly, I can't stress enough. I think I got to a point I was watching it by myself so much that I just drugged my wife in bed and told her, we're just going to sit here. She thought we were getting ready to watch something like nothing on Netflix here. This is Tanika and Donnie. That's right. But you need to see this here. That was during the time of that wife and, clashing here. But consistency. Yeah. Y'all mentioned that every single time here. I know that fear sometimes can grip us and it kind of stops us in our tracks. But the stepping out and just consistently just, doing it, the business will grow. It will come in time here. Our business, with any business, is not a more of a microwave here. It's more of a crock pot. I heard y'all mention that. It takes time.
Percolation.
But it will grow. It will grow if you just give it time here.
That's a fact.
Kenny and I probably, when we first started the business, did not take a true vacation. Probably in the first 5.5 years of us being in business.
Wow, yes.
I'm interested to know, what is the work-life balance, vacation time with the family, How do you all infuse that in?
Yeah, that's another good question.
The struggle is real, right?
It is. Well, I want to say that, it was many times that, my wife would go back home, because we both from Louisiana. I'm from Baton Rouge. My wife is from Gonzales. And a lot of times we'll go back home, and they will have to go back home because of the fact I'll have to hold down the fort and work here. So a lot of time it would look like to our family, maybe on her side of the family too, they may have felt like, well, he don't love us anymore, he don't like us anymore, but that's before Jive, I was going down there, of course. After Jive, of course, I couldn't go. And so a lot of years went by with my wife. I would tell her, it makes no sense for you to suffer while I'm building. So, you're in school, you're out of school during the summertime here, so you can actually go. So they will go down. But when the business built itself to a point where we can all travel now, I want to say that we've been for 8 years now. Okay. Last year was the first time. The first time that, we was able to truly take a true vacation. And we went to Washington, D.C. as a family for the first time. Wow. And, of course, this year, I don't want to be on a plane that long, but you guys have already been. But we're going to Honolulu, Hawaii in the month of May. Nice. And that's another family vacation now. And I do want to say, too, because y'all know my beginning, as I just admit to, that, to go from TSA to a company Crash and Burn, to Pizza Hut, to Walmart, to Uber, to Jive here, it feels real good to be able to fund a trip here, on the company, dime here.
Yeah.
It feels real good to build something here and actually to enjoy the fruit of your labor. It really is a blessing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That is a blessing for sure. Last question.
Sure.
When it's all said and done,
Mhm.
when it's time for you, like you said, because you be praying and talking to God, and apparently I don't. So when you going to see Jesus,
That's right.
Put in the word for me.
All
But
right.
when it's all said and done,
Mhm.
what would success have looked like for you?
Another good question here. I would like to say that since I was 15 years old, gave my life to Christ, of course, my godfather was a pastor back in Louisiana. He once taught a message on success. And he had the same question, what does success look like? And I have taken that at the age of 15 and been running ever since to now I'm 49. So to answer your question, in conclusion, I would say that success, what success look like for me would be more so of what have God have mandated for me to do? What was my purpose in life here that He have mandated for me to do? And at the end of my life, did I accomplish exactly what He have called me to do? I really do believe that He have given me Jive Luxury Car Service here, which of course, Jive is an acronym that stands for Jesus is for everybody. So I always tell people all the time that you may not see any Bibles or crosses in the car, but you should be able to see the love of Christ and how we serve. If we can serve you well, that you're able to sing our praise here, then we have done our job, what God has called us to do. So at the end of my life, if honestly that God can look at me and say, I have dropped this company that you didn't even see coming because I wanted to have a subway business or a daycare or a car wash. Those are my three businesses I wanted to have. I'm going to have to have a talk with God when I get to heaven. Why you have these things. But He gave me a Jive here. And because He gave me Jive here, I would like for Him to be able to say that you good and faithful servant. You have done well done because you've done exactly what I called you to do. And the people were able to be blessed because of the fact of the company that, I have placed in your lap. To add to that part, I would say that each year we give 50 hours away as a philanthropy because of the fact that, I love giving back. One of the reasons why I love giving back is a passion of mine because my mom working two jobs and just was a struggle. I remember so many people helping us. And I always would pray, even while I was struggling as a kid, teenager, college year, I would struggle asking God that, one day if you allow me to be in a position where I can give back here, that I really would do just that. Because of the fact that giving is what I love to do, it brings me joy that we can be able to pick up somebody, a mama, dad, grandfather, grandmother, someone who may have cancer, child have cancer, got to go to the hospital for treatment. It brings us joy to be able to take them, and it don't cost them anything at all, But equally so, I could say once those 50 hours are exhausted, they are exhausted. We're without a charity, of course, although we don't mind showing the love of Christ here.
Reginald,
Yes.
you have been, and as always, a joy. Thank you for bringing your light to the podcast today. It has been phenomenal.
Thank you.
You guys, if you need luxury car service, give Jive a call. Otherwise, thank you guys for tuning into the RealT Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thanks, guys.